and welcome to my 2025 book tag. Can you fucking believe it? It's the end of 2025. Merry Christmas to those who celebrate, and to those who don't, well, happy whatever. Okay, free day. Let's just get into it because I read quite a lot of books for me, and I want to talk about every single one of them in this book tag. Why am I not doing a regular wrap-up? Because that's coming with my last book journal video of the year, which is coming normally January 1st. And that's gonna have a detailed wrap-up. And this one's just gonna be me chatting about the books. I have a whole list. So let's get into it. My reading goal for 2025 was to read 25 books. I read 35 books. And I'm currently reading book number 36. But I don't know if it's gonna be finished before the end of the year or not. What? So I read 10 books, more than was actually my goal. I think 2025 was my best reading year as of right now. I think before it was like 2022 maybe. And then I read like 33 books. So 35 books. There were like months that I read 4 books. Like multiple months where I read 4 books. Insane. Wow. Anyway, let's just so that I have a whole Notion spread thing on my phone with like things that are personal to me, and then also like just vibes. So let's start with the things that were kind of more personal to me. I'm gonna like grab a book and then show and talk and then grab another book, because otherwise my bookshelf will be empty all the video and that's no fun. Let's start with my worst read of the year. And also my most disappointing read, because I was very excited about this book. The book in question is Truly Madly Deeply by L.J. Chen. This was not it, okay? I was so excited about the book because the premise of it seemed like so much fun. This thing missed the spot, like it really missed the spot. Why did it miss the spot? What? Why did it miss the spot? Well, again, the premise of the book was so fun and I enjoyed it at the beginning, but then it just got worse, and there were references in the book that made me not want to read by this author. They were giving Elon Musk references and shit, and I'm sorry, I don't support that guy, like at all. And that just was like a deal breaker, but also, I don't know, it just gave Republican. I know this video is already getting politics in it, but that's just the way my brain works. This didn't... No, it was so disappointing because I was so excited about it, and then that shit happened. I really don't think about this book either anymore. So that tells you enough. Then, the most unexpected book that I absolutely loved was actually an arc I read, which was A Bond Beyond Blood by J. Jameson. I had never read a paranormal romance, nor had I ever read a white shoes romance. This book, I don't even know, I'm looking at that, but it's probably gonna be over there because there's more room. That shit was good, okay? I'm talking more about this author further into the video because I love her, but wow, that shit hit the spot. And I really went into it with like, I like this author, I'm gonna try it because I know I like her writing style. Why not try something I haven't tried before? I might not love vampires. I have never watched Vampire Diaries, don't come for me. I didn't know if I was gonna like white shoes, but gosh, did I love this book. Wowsies. Wow. Go fucking read it. She's an indie author. We love supporting indie authors over here. Then my favorite series that I finished this year, because I'm someone who does not read series all at once. But this year I did finish a couple, and here's my favorite one. You know it. Dirty Air by Lauren Asher. I have the Bloom Books special editions. I read Throttle in 2024 and then Collided, Wrecked, and Redeemed in 2025. I love this series so much. Like I love it. I have never read a series back to back, and except for Throttled, the other 3 books I read back to back. No, that's not true. Twisted I also read back to back. No, did I? No, that's not true. This one was the first and only one I ever read like that, and I loved it so much. I do have to say the first 3 books were very similar, and then this one wasn't as similar. And there was a book that I despised, aka Wrecked, which I know a lot of people disagree with me, but that's okay. So Dear Diary by Lauren Asher. Love it so much. Like, this is a F1 romance. I think this is her first series she put out, and then it is fine print, and then now it is League from Billionaires, so it's finished, but I haven't read all the books. I wasn't expecting to love it as much as I did, especially because it is F1, but it got me obsessed, okay? Like, the girls, the stories, the everything. If you want to see me talk about these books, just go watch the entire video I made about these. Ooh, that's good shit. So that was my favorite series in total, and then now I'm gonna talk about the favorite end of a series. Like, again, I finished multiple series, but this series wasn't my favorite series overall, but the last book in that series really did hit the spot for me. Imagine Me by Tahara Mafi. Yes, there is a new thing in the Shadow Me series, which is Watch Me. Oh, I haven't read that one. I completely forgot it was in there, to be honest. But I don't count it as Shadow Me. It's like a spin-off, basically. But this felt like such an appropriate ending. And like a happy... I don't want to spoil it. Wowsies. This made the series so much better. I gotta be honest with you. So that's why it's in here. I really enjoyed Imagine Me. I know some people really don't, but I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the storyline. I enjoyed the ending. I'm not gonna spoil it because then, you know, it's spoiled and you don't need to read the series anymore. Like this one. Then the book that felt the most inclusive to me this year was, where is it? The Match by Sarah Adams. Now, did I love this book? No. Did I like the inclusivity of it? Absolutely. So this book is about 2 people. Duh. One of them runs a animal service thing for service animals who help people with epilepsy. And the guy, so that's the girl, and she doesn't have a lot of money. The guy has a lot of money, and his daughter actually sets up a meeting with the woman because his daughter has epilepsy and really wants a guidance dog to help her with it. It was so good. This is the revised and expanded edition, so the newer one. So the inclusivity, I love this one. For that, it's not my favorite romance I read this year at all. It's not my favorite Sarah Adams book, but I still have to talk about it. So then my favorite cover of the year was Daydream by Hannah Grace. It was the very first book I read this year. And just look at the cover. Why does it happen? As a Swiftie and book girly, this cover is just immaculate. Yeah. I know there are very mixed opinions about Daydream, but I love Daydream. So, Daydream by Hannah Grace is my favorite cover of the year. Look how pretty. Then the best advice I got from a book. Actually, why are they like that? They need to... There you go. Came from a Spiral by Bella Cabra, and it was one bad situation doesn't have to become a bad day, which sometimes does happen. You know, when something bad happens, it kind of can ruin your day, but one bad situation does not mean you're having a bad day. It shouldn't equal to that. Spiral by Bella Cabra. Love this book. Love Collide. I have not read the next book in the series. I really want to read it on my 2026. on my in 2026, but Spiral was so fun. It's a hockey romance, ballet romance, so it's sports romance. That's fun. I love the ending too because this had a very unconventional ending. Again, I don't want to spoil it, but if you're someone who tends to skip an epilogue, read this one because it was different. It wasn't the we're getting engaged or we got married and had kids. It's a little different. So, love that one. Then a character I absolutely fell in love with and wasn't really expecting to fall in love with is Rose Calloway from Kiss the Sky by Kristen Becker-Ritchie, which is the fourth book in the Addicted Calloway Sisters series. So this is from the Calloway sisters, but they're interconnected, so I'm reading them in the reading order it says to do it in the book. So good. I love Rose and Connor. This wasn't like a 5-star, but it was like close to a 5-star read. I just completely fell in love with Rose. I love the way they're portraying her OCD. I like her as a person. Just wow. Don't read these books if you're not a character person, because again, these are built on the characters and not on anything else. But I did love this book. I love the premise of it. I love the reality TV show aspect of it. I loved it, okay? And I love Rose Calloway. An all-time favorite author for me that I've read a couple books about from what? Again, one of my all-time favorite authors I read 2 books from this year is Anna Wong. I read The Striker this year. And I also read, I'm not gonna grab it, it's at the bottom of the stack, King of Envy. So The Striker and King of Envy by Anna Wong. Love those books. Were they my favorite Anna Wong books? No. Because these have a special place in my heart. If you've watched any of my book videos, you know that because I consistently talk about them. I definitely have to reread those in 2026. Obvi. But yeah, I read those books. Anna Wong is an all-time favorite author for me. She hasn't really missed a spot for me. Are her books a little repetitive, especially the Kings of Sin series? Yes, they are. I think King of Envy really felt a little different than the other Kings of Sin series books, but like, I like it. Anna Wong is such a comfort author for me. It's like Grey's Anatomy. It's the same thing, it's just a warm hug, okay? Even though it's very much not happy. And a new to me author I fell in love with from the very first book I read by them is actually Jocelyn Jameson, aka J. Jameson, aka something else. She writes under a couple of pseudonyms. She's an indie author. I read The Intern Submission Duet, which are 2 books, of which I don't remember the name, but I fell in love with them. I read them in February. It is now December, and I already want to reread them because of how much I love it. Wow. And then I also read A Bomb Beyond Blood as an arc. Again, loved that book. She did Jamus, which was like an Advent thing until her birthday, because her birthday's in December. And I got tons of free books by her. I will be reading more about. I will be reading them because I love them. I don't own a physical copy of her books, but let's be honest, if I read more books by her and they're just as good and I love them just as much and they're just as all-consuming, I will be buying physical copies. Okay? She's an indie author, which I love supporting indie authors, but sometimes it can be very much a miss. With her, it wasn't. It was a hit. I love her books. I love her writing. Again, her writing is all-consuming. Like, when I'm reading a book by her, it's the only thing I can think about. And I have a very busy brain, so that tells you a lot, okay? They are such bingeable books. The Intern Submission Duet is like 900 pages. I read it in like 3 days. That's how good. That's how fucking good, okay? Then the author I read the most books about from this year is actually Lauren Asher, because I read these 3 books, and then I also read Love Redesigned. So I read 4 books by her. 4 books by the same author. That tells you a lot. I love her. I think, let's be honest, you can tell Lauren Asher has her own shelf, Anna Wong has her own shelf. I love them. Duh. Then an author I gave a second chance this year is actually Lynn Painter, because I read what's it called? What's it called? I read Better Than the Movies a couple of years ago, and I didn't like it. Ugh. But this year, I decided to give her a second chance, and I read Betting on You, and I loved it. So that's good. I don't know. Better Than the Movies just isn't it for me. There was just something that I didn't love about it, but I decided to give her a second chance, and I loved it. So just a reminder to give authors second chances. And also, it's pink. The spine is pink. How much better can it be? I do hate that they wrote Simon and Chester books, but their spines don't fucking match up in height. Anyway, the shortest book I read this year was actually Burned by Ivy Jackson. Untamed by Ivy Jackson was a second close. What? Untamed was a close second. When it comes to my shortest books, did I love them? No. But they were fun cowboy romances. Again, in the author, found her through... Most of the indie authors I read are found through, like, stuff for Kindle days. Which... I don't know if I'm gonna read another book by her. It wasn't my fave. But it was fun. Like, nothing to write home about. Then the book that is overall that I read that is the highest rated book. No, most rated book. Not highest. Most rated book that I read this year. So which has the most ratings was Never Lie. So the most... Wait, what am I saying? The most popular book on Goodreads that I read this year was Never Lie by Frida McFadden. I listened to it in a video. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It was fine. It was fun. It wasn't good. So they're not. Nothing crazy. And then the least popular book I read this year was Under Control by Lila Andrews. Again, a book I found by any author through stuff here Kindle Day, and I actually enjoyed the book. But like, I don't really remember anything that I'm like thinking about it. I'll have to look that book up to know. Which also says a lot, but it was fun. I know that. I want to reread the third submission to it. I'm like thinking about it. I really want to reread that. Now we're getting into more like moods and vibes when it comes to books. So let's start with my darkest romance I read this year, which was Corrupt by Penelope Douglas. I got it for free. I don't know what to think about it. It was fun. I am going to read the rest of the series, so it was fun enough to want to do that. Oh yeah, it was actually kind of a fun read, but it was pretty dark, which I, as you can tell, mostly read fun things. But it was a good book. You know, it wasn't my favorite. It wasn't my least favorite. It was fine. Then my most light romance, which sounds really weird, because it also has some harder subjects in it, was Beg, Borrow, or Steal by Sarah Adams, book 3 in the When in Rome series. I love the When in Rome series. We all know I love it. Was it my favorite? No, Practice Makes Perfect is my favorite in the series, but it was a good romance, okay? It was the first one that had like a tiny bit of spice. I just love her books so fucking much. But like, let me read the dedication and you will know enough. The dedication is, "Hello, little honeybees. You glorious, sharp-edged perfection seekers. We've been working so hard, holding everything together. Come sit down with me for a while and take a load off." This book is written to escape. So that, it was a very good book. And it did exactly what it's supposed to do. Then the funniest and weirdest fucking storyline I read this year, but like weird in a good way, was Funny Story by Emily Henry. Because it is a funny story. And it's a weird storyline when you think about it. If you don't know what Funny Story is about, you have in fact been living under a rock, or you just don't read books. What is it about? Oh yeah, Daphne. That is until it became, and Peter are like friends? No. So Daphne and Peter are together, and then Petra and Miles are together, but Petra and Peter are actually childhood best friends. They get together, Daphne and Miles find each other, and turns out their exes are together now and ran away from them, and they hit it off. Such a fun rom-com. Funny Story by Emily Henry is in fact a funny story. Then one of the most brainless reads, which is the biggest. No, I don't remember. Anyway, The Deal by Elle Kennedy, which was like a fun sport romance. Is it brainless? No, because here you dive into her fucking essay trauma. But somehow it is brainless. I don't know. The Deal by Elle Kennedy. I wasn't obsessed with it. I think it's a little overrated. I'm sorry. Then the book that has the most fucking insane past and connection when it comes to the MCs was this one. Deep End by Ellie Hazelwood. I know a lot of people hate it. I love it. Scarlett and Lucas. Lucas was with Scarlett's best friend. Again, my stomach. You know, when I started, I wasn't hungry. Now I'm kind of hungry. Because this video is already, oh my gosh, I'm already half an hour into filming, almost. And it's not, anyhow. Deep End by Ellie Hazelwood was fun. It's kind of weird, you know? But fine. The past between the MCs is kind of odd. But it's fun. And it has very mixed reviews, so do with it what you will. If you're in the mood for a one-night stand, read Break the Rules by Julia Jared. Again, a indie author I found. It was such a fun little sports romance with a one-night stand. And the meet cute and so much fun. A book you should definitely read during the summer. Literally says it in the title of the book. Problematic Summer Romance, again by Ellie Hazelwood. Yes, I read 2 Ellie Hazelwood books. And there's another one on my fucking physical TBR, guys. I love Love on the Brain. No, I hate Love on the Brain. I love The Love Hypothesis. And then I stopped reading, and then I read Deep End, and I was obsessed, and I read Problematic Summer Romance, and I enjoyed it. And I love Theoretically is also my TBR. Not the point. Anyway, this was such a fun little summery read. I read it on vacation. Great book to read on vacation. In the summer. Okay, let's go through all the seasons, Then I found a little winter book. I literally just finished. It's Love Light Farms by B.K. Borison. It's a holiday romance, but it's not too holiday-ish, you know? It is holiday-ish, but it's more Thanksgiving than it is Christmas. And I know Thanksgiving is in the fall, but it's winter. It's Christmas trees. Love Light Farms, okay? This is a fun holiday romance. That's all I have to say about that one. A fun fall book, aka, or more like 2 fall books. Why did this book scream fall to me? I don't know. But I'm talking about Redeeming and Saving Six by Chloe Walsh. You know Chloe Walsh. You know You Will Cry. These just give me fall vibes. Mind your business. It's the vibes. That's all. Now I don't remember which one's first. It's Saving Six and then it's Redeeming Six. I need to read Taming 7 and Releasing 10? Is that right? I think so. Then a fun book for the spring. Again, purely based off of vibes I felt, is Addicted for Now by Kristen Becca-Richer, which is book 3 in the Addicted Calloway Sister series. Yeah, vibes only. Nothing else. Who reads for your mind? You read for the vibes, okay, guys? Let's read for real. At least I read for them. A book that will, if I have you cry, but also it's very cute. It's Still Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I love it. I know a lot of people hate this one too, but I do in fact like it. I cried. I bawled, but somehow it's still a fun little cute rom-com. Don't know how she does it. She did it with yours truly as well, but she does it. A book for when you're in the mood for like a dark academia is Scarred by Emily McIntyre, which is book 2 in the Never After series. But let's be honest, the Never After novels don't have anything to do with each other. And with that I mean Hooked is like a completely different universe than Scarred is. So they have nothing to do with each other except for the fact that it's the same author and they are Disney story retellings. This one is a Lion King retelling. It was fun, but I don't love dark academia books, so not my favorite. I prefer. Then, if you are in a need for a little bit of shock, what did I do that? Killer Instinct by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, which is book 2 in the Natural series. I still have to read book 3 and 4, but I love it. And it was the plot twist for plot twist. The plot twists were plot twisting. Well, how much did I rate it? 4 stars. So but it didn't have as many crazy twists as the first book, which is kind of crazy because the first book is so much shorter, but still it will have you shocked to your core. And then the last book I want to talk about is something kind of specific. What if you want to read a book that is both cowboys but also sports, but like not cowboy sports? Powerless by Elsie Silver. I don't know how long it's gonna take me to finish Chestnut Springs and then read the other series, and then she's coming out with new books. It's gonna take me forever. But Powerless I did read this year, and it was so fun. You don't know how weird I'm sitting right now. You don't want to know. It was so fun. Sloan. I read so many books that have a Sloan in it. Like, too many books. I don't remember. And I keep mixing them up. The only Sloan I can like fully remember is Sloan from King of Sloth. Hi, Anna Wong. What else did they have? They have a Sloan in it. Fucking, was it Love Light Farms? I don't remember. Anyway, that was 30 minutes of me talking about every book I read this year in a book tag instead of a wrap up, because why? I don't know. That's it. I'll see you next week with a new video. Happy holidays. Love you. Bye.